Okay, hang on.
So anything that involves running, swimming, or shooting, she's great at.
18 plus 8 is 26 plus 12. 38.
You walk on water. What the heck?
You are Jesus. Wow. That is the highest number. I think that's a record for the highest number we've ever seen roll on the podcast. That's insane to me. Welcome to the Indigo League, where trainers grow and bond with their Pokemon to become the very best and prove themselves unbeatable.
We are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable.
Hi everybody, this is your professor, here to let you know that this episode actually had a slight recording error. Luckily, we figured this out about 15 minutes into the episode, but you're going to miss out on just a little bit of roleplay. And to give you a quick recap, here you go. The players have just loaded into the ship owned by a very grumpy captain who's going to take them out onto Route 21 to start their search for Captain Nolan of the Whalmer's Blessing. They are just a few feet into the ocean, and the episode starts like this. So just to set you guys up for the stakes of where you're currently at, as a reminder, you are all on the ship, the unnamed vessel that you have rented for the afternoon. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, but you have about an hour and a half till sunset, and things are starting to get cold already. As you guys are headed out into the ocean, you find that the river itself that leads kind of past Pallet Town that the docks are actually connected to only goes for about a half a mile before you start hitting this widening of the river as it kind of fords outward, and you reach open ocean. And you can see the trees and the beaches kind of falling behind as you now just see flat water in front of you.
Oof.
Gavin, you spent a lot of time here, and immediately your mind thinks back to the last time you were on this ocean, which was with Nolan himself before you'd made it to Pallet Town.
See any tentacruel, fuck with me now. See what happens.
With that, can I get... Okay, real quick. Is anyone keeping an eye out for anything while you're going? And if so, what specifically are you keeping an eye out for?
Pokemon, both with a mind of making sure we don't run afoul of any very dangerous Pokemon, and also possibly one I might want to catch, because I'm in the market for a water type.
It's valid. Okay. And then, Coryne, you wanted to keep an eye out.
What is the wind like right now?
Actually, you know what? Go ahead and roll me a d6. I have a weather chart here for Route 22 because I figured you guys are going to be traveling on it. Specifically to remind all of you, the kind of mysterious storm that the Blue Rockets had summoned for their heist in the very beginning of the campaign. We mentioned last session that the storm still exists in wide swaths and patches and is unnaturally affecting the weather here on Route 22. So what was your d6 roll?
2.
With a 2, as soon as you make it to the mouth of the river, the sun that's kind of off in the distance, it immediately feels like it dims because you are immediately under cloud cover. It is only the time of day that is continuing to give you sunlight. Looking out, the wind is not quite storm winds yet, but I wouldn't let flying Pokemon out right now. There's no rain yet, luckily, but you do feel that kind of half scent, half taste that's in the air of lightning.
Ooh, an ozone?
It's electrifying.
It smells like rain. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make sure Beedrill and Beatrix's Pokeball is safely tucked away in my bag. And I'll have Myrtle out on top of my shoulder, hanging on to my bob, keeping an eye out on the ocean with me.
I mean, Squirtle! For you, actually, go ahead and roll me a Pokemon handling check as you have Myrtle out.
Oh, Lord. I feel like, wait, Pokemon handling. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, wait, okay, I can use Charm on this. Okay. D8. What is that? And we're adding my badge?
Yes, your one badge that you guys now have.
8.
With an 8, that's actually pretty good. As you kind of pull Myrtle up, and the sea is starting to get a bit choppy. You can feel the boat on the waves underneath you. But Myrtle is keeping level pretty much the whole time. Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Real
Troy
rocky on
goes a bit
this
like
boat,
that,
you
where
guys.
he's like,
It's real choppy out here.
It's really choppy, really method acting going on here. For the audience who's just listening to the audio version of this podcast, Gavin got a little excited reenacting the waves, and his headphones went to flying. But as Myrtle's there on your shoulder, she's gripping your hair, and you just see the widest eyes you have ever seen on Myrtle. She might have been raised at a conservation area for water-type Pokemon, but she's never seen a body of water near as big as the ocean before. And she's mystified by it. It's one of those things where this is a really special experience for her, and if it wasn't such a frightening evening that you're going into, this would be something that you would probably take a moment to remember.
I kind of glance at her on my shoulder, and I'm like white knuckling the rail of this boat because I also have never been on the ocean, and I'm just like, wow, that's really beautiful. Ooh. Deep breaths, Myrtle. Deep breaths. Wow. This is
Squirtle, squirt.
gorgeous. Yeah. Oh God. Waffles.
You're not gonna throw up, are you?
No.
Vermilion
no.
speaks up.
Mm.
Okay, I brought Dramamine.
What is that?
And motion sickness drugs.
No drugs. No drugs.
Okay.
We'll power through it.
It'll help if you don't lock your knees. If you bend your knees, it'll float with the boat, and you don't just keep moving.
Thank you. She had
Immediately, like
Coryne
relief.
had no, had
Super-
no idea
super
what was
easy
happening
way to
with
fix
her body,
that.
and was just like, oh,
You're kind of
this
just
is better.
like a part of the boat moving with it.
Thank you. Yeah, that actually helps a lot.
Easy peasy.
And as you guys are kind of headed out, can I go ahead and get
Easy cat.
from Gavin, because Gavin's the one who's keeping an eye out past what the weather was. Gavin, can I get also a Pokemon handling check actually for this?
I add 3 to this. 22.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You grab whatever Pokemon you want from the ocean with your bare hands.
With your bare hands.
You just catch Gavin wrestling a Blastoise on the deck.
Because of the way the weather is right now, there is not any Pokemon in the sky or visibly on the surface of the sea at the moment. But one of the things that you do remember is rain and promises of storm, specifically like to agitate Pokemon that live under the surface of the water, especially when you're still moving kind of past the river into the ocean where there's still a lot of that mixed freshwater, saltwater Pokemon. You do occasionally see entire schools of carp underneath the beginnings of the water. You see occasionally in the distance, this is very far away, breaching pods of Lapras that kind of pull up out of the water and then go back into the water. You occasionally see flashes of other Pokemon that are not as familiar to you, given that you are not necessarily native to this specific region. But you see flashes of blue and yellow and white in places. There are definitely Pokemon under the surface of the water. As to whether or not you'll encounter them during weather like this, that might remain up to you.
So, I could try and agitate some, is what you're saying? Or I should try and...
Quick, Ava, punch the water.
I do appreciate that your brain went to agitating the Pokemon. There are things that you can do to encounter the Pokemon that are under the water if you want to detour from what you're currently doing, yes.
Got an old rod if you want it. Catch you that.
You want me to
carp.
throw you in? I could give you a nice time.
We talked before, Gyarados are really powerful Pokemon.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a whack.
Oh, Coryne was fully had her hands on your shoulders ready to toss you until
wow.
you're like, no,
So-
the rod.
Quick question for all of you. Have any of you ever tried to fish out of a moving boat before?
Oh, it's near impossible.
It is near impossible to do.
However, the old rod has 100% catch rate.
If it
No,
runs
it's 100
into a Pokemon,
it's
it will be a
100% of it
Magikarp.
being a Gyarados. Or, I'm sorry, a Magikarp.
Okay.
Let me pull up the rules for fishing.
Can there be a
Fishing is
1%
normally
chance
a
that
downtime activity.
the Gyarados that is, or the Magikarp that is caught will turn into a Gyarados upon
No.
being reeled in?
No. No, it is not.
Listen, I've
Yeah,
seen the
that's how that
anime. All you
works.
need to do is just keep throwing that thing at Pokemon. Just keep hawking it at Pokemon until it evolves.
Yes, essentially what you're going to be doing is the equivalent to just wake fishing. We're going to be tossing the line behind the boat and hoping that something as you drag by will try to just catch on to the end of it. Go ahead and roll me.
Oh no.
I don't even know what I want you to roll me right now. What do you think you should roll for me? Let's put it there.
That's a good question.
I'm
gonna tell you right now, it's not a mental stat, no matter what this is.
No, I was gonna say definitely athletics is part of that you're gonna need.
Can I do fortitude if it's athletics?
I'll allow a fortitude athletics roll.
With strength, I'm fucked. That is a 5 with my badge.
I'm gonna roll the difficulty on this because if it was what I was intending in my brain, you're just auto gonna fail this. But if I roll higher, no, you fail this. Hey Seth.
Howdy. I don't.
Was that rod expensive?
It's old.
Okay, well it's not in Gavin's grip anymore. As Gavin is standing at the back of the boat, and at one point you feel something kind of tug at the edge of it, and it goes flying out your hands and disappears into the wake behind the boat.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It was just my grandpa's. It's.
Oh,
If I was standing by him, could I have seen it go and been like, ah! Could I have tried to go for it? Or was it too fast?
I will give you a try.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the difficulty at 12.
Okay.
And you can try with your athletics.
With my athletics?
That's a decent chance for you.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
decent chance for you. You can
Yeah,
try.
it is. Okay. Athletics.
Because if you're good at something, I'm not going to stop you from being good at that thing. You made this character to be athletic.
Come on,
14.
You got this.
14. So as the rod goes into the water, it's that thing where your hand just drenches itself as you reach past the back, and about 1.5 feet under the water, you feel it snag the end of the line, and you feel kind of like that, like the fishing line cutting into your finger as you just grasp it on the edge of your finger, and you're trying to pull it up. As you go ahead and give me one more athletics, lower difficulty, and we're gonna see how well you can pull it in.
Ouchie.
Ooh, that one is a 12.
12, okay. So as you, good thing you roll a 12 though. So as you start to like pull it up, you do get that thing where you can feel the rod
4 fingers.
immediately starting to like pull as the line goes slack. And you just reach in a little bit further, grabbing the line, and as you pull it a little bit tighter, immediately like all the way up to your shoulders, just drenched with water as the boat is still and as it's like hitting, the wake is still getting across all over your face. Your hair is soaked in salt water.
Poor Myrtle's probably freezing.
Myrtle is having a great time. Myrtle
Okay,
loves
great.
cold water.
Great.
But as you pull up the rod, there's like little cuts in your hand where it's like bleeding. Go ahead and take a minor wound for this, as like fishing line is not pleasant to try and drag barehanded.
No, it's not.
But you successfully pull out of the water Seth's old rod.
Ow!
Is there a Pokemon on the end of it?
Very quickly.
There is no longer a Pokemon on the end of it.
Here,
Thanks.
yeah.
It wasn't his only rod, but I appreciate it
Well,
nonetheless.
I didn't know that, and it seemed
Do
sentimental.
you need? I would offer to help and like wrap it. I'm sure you would do a much better job of
It's
that.
just the salt,
So do
the salt.
Yeah, that sucks.
Very
Do you
Oh, yeah,
want like
Burrty.
fresh water? I'm sure Myrtle or Bowie can freshen
Oh, that's
that.
a good point. Myrtle, would you mind blowing on that?
Squirtle. And it's
Alright,
like
Bowie
a
Hydro
little,
pump.
little thing of you get a Bowie Hydro from that.
You don't need that hand, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Blow
but
it off.
Squirtle lets out a little stream of water, and cleans it out pretty okay.
Thank you.
You do wrap it. You got your little injured fingies. But as you guys are kind of messing around, you hear near the front of the boat the captain. So y'all are done messing around back there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We were just doing some fishing, wake fishing, trademark pending.
Well, we're almost there, so you better get ready and get your shit, because I'm going to be leaving you.
Okie doke.
Thank you so
Been
much.
ready. We're super ready, right, guys?
There.
So
Sure.
ready.
All right, well, you got to get out of here, because I'm trying to get in as little after dark as possible.
Of
Course. And again, appreciate you doing this for us. Very courteous, and you got paid and everything, so we're good. Just
All right.
time will
For
tell.
20
We're almost
poke,
there.
I'll let the Coast Guard know that you're out here.
Don't they already know?
Appreciated.
Oh, I mean, I didn't declare anything before I left
No,
as
we
a
did,
private
didn't we?
vessel. Did you?
I swear we did. With
Did you?
I swear, Poppy.
Oh, Poppy absolutely did, but this guy doesn't know that.
We'll be fine.
Already paid you as much.
You're deaf. You're deaf. All right, well,
You're so pleasant.
get off my ship.
Oh my god.
And you see at this point that he is, like, he said, get off my ship at this point. But looking around, there's, like, some rocks in the distance. And in the far, far distance, you can maybe make out a dark shape that might be Cinnabar. But at the moment, there's really nothing in the open water around you.
And there wasn't, like a sandbar or anything near where we were, or anything?
On the beach.
That would make sense. Cool.
You told me you wanted halfway down the route.
Oh, absolutely. That was accurate information we gave. Coryne, do you can we maybe get that lapras out so that we don't get like our bags soaked more than they are right now?
Sure,
Can I get my sat phone up with the map with the ping on it of where we need to be going?
Absolutely you can.
How far are we away from that?
You are about, it's hard to say distance-wise, easily like still a couple miles. But in terms of Coryne, you pull out the Pokeball, you said?
Yeah, and I'll be like, all right, Sheila, we need you to swim for us, and I'll take her out and have her hop in the water.
Okay. You hit the button and point at the water, and immediately, the light, that red light, kind of goes under the water, and it's really the only major source of illumination, as at this point, the sun is beginning to set. It is more gray than orange right now in terms of the light that is around you. The sky is still overcast entirely, and as the light hits the water, it kind of diffuses across the entire surface of the water, maybe like a 10-foot radius. And where there was no shadow in the water, there's suddenly a wide, maybe 10-foot circular shadow directly underneath the water, a dark gray color that immediately begins to float up towards the surface. The first thing that breaks is this hard, rock-like shell that is pitted and rough in places, easily large enough for the four of you to stand on. But as that shell kind of breaks out of the water, it is attached to a brilliant blue, slender neck that out of the water. You can see that Lapras has this beautiful, like, blue coloration on the back where it turns to almost beige underneath with patches of dark navy in places. It comes to these two long tendrilled ear-like structures over the top. There is a singular non-pointed horn out of the front of its face as this Pokemon majestically comes out of the water. And you hear the captain behind you. Hey, it's a pretty one.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
well.
is. Hup.
Getting off.
you would just hop over immediately.
Yeah.
I think Seth definitely doesn't have to make a check for this because you definitely have water training practice for this. This is something you've
And
done many
non-slip
times
shoes.
before. And non-slip shoes. Sandals is what you have. You have sandals.
Footwear.
Non-slip
sport mode.
sandals.
In
Sport mode. In sport mode.
With Velcro?
But the other two of you, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to need you.
I let Seth go first, and I try and copy him.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have both of you go ahead and rock me an athletics check. This is going to be strength-based and not fortitude-based because it's not about endurance. This is about
But my
getting over.
crotch is endurance.
Before I hop over, I kind of get to where Sheila's head is, and I assume much taller than the boat.
So pulling up the Lapras stat block real quick. Its height from the bottom of its belly to the top of its head is about 8 foot tall.
Oh, okay, so right about there. And I'll just kind of look Sheila in the eyes, and I'll say, "Hey, my name's Coryne. It's nice to meet you. Professor Oak let us borrow you, so I hope you don't mind."
There's an acknowledgement of like a dipping of the head and like a large exhale that kind of just out the two large nostrils at the front of the Lapras's face.
I turn to Myrtle and I go, "Oh my god, Sheila is so cool." And then I go ahead and I try to hop on.
Okay, sounds good. Gavin, what was your roll?
4. 3 plus
4.
1.
with Seth's help, you don't end up entirely in the water. However, as you step over, there's that bit of a slip as you slip over, and your red and white pristine shoes all the way up to right below the knee in ocean water, and then you manage to pull yourself up and over.
Not the sneakers.
Not the sneakers, not the prize Pokeball sneakers that are a part of your
Not the Poke
backstory.
Ones.
My socks. I rolled a 10.
Coryne, what was your roll? A 10? Easily enough. Hop over. There is this, especially with your water. Actually, I would have allowed you to use water Pokemon specialization here, actually, now that I think about it, because this is, in fact, a water type.
11.
And as you hop over, as soon as you have made your way over, Viridian immediately tries to hop behind you. They're significantly more athletic than you guys. So let's see.
You pulled a me, Aaron.
Two of you.
Good God. Good God. How does it feel? How does it feel to be down here at the Mortals?
I didn't even catch it.
As soon as you hopped over, Vermilion is going to go ahead and try and hop over as well. And they are significantly more athletic than either of those two.
All of us?
With a natural... no, not than Coryne. Not than Coryne. Coryne is... Whoo. But with an 11 plus their number of badges, that is going to be a total of 13. Very cool.
Nice.
Still higher
So
than
they
me.
immediately hop over.
Yeah, Gavin, the key is when you jump is to wait for the waves to kind of go down so that you have more room to kind of go over. Because if the wave goes up, then shield's going to be higher, then you're not really going to
Very
make that.
unpredictable.
That is the ocean for you.
Why is
The
the ship
moment all
called
four
the
of you-
unnamed vessel?
Speaking of the unnamed vessel, the moment all four of you have hopped onto the Lapras, the ship has immediately turned and started to move away. He did not wait to see that you guys were good. He did
Wow.
not double check with you. He did not question. He just left
I'm gonna
immediately.
find out that guy's part of the Blue Rockets.
Love
isn't
that
he?
man.
As you hear the of the engine fading into the distance, and all you can really hear is the of waves around you.
Do we think of a plan
I'm so cold.
now at this point?
It's that way.
And you point south and a little bit to the east. You
Okay.
point towards what in the distance I think all of you can start to see. There is this interconnected bit of rock outcroppings that seem to go for maybe like a mile and a half. It's still a half a mile out from you guys, but they are... It would make it hard for boat traffic through that area to begin with. The fact that you guys are on a Pokemon is probably going to be one of the few reasons that you'll be able to navigate it at all.
Could I, since I got onto Sheila first, kind of be up towards the front near like where her like neck or head would be, and with my flashlight kind of point in whatever direction we're needing to go?
Absolutely you can.
That would help.
I will clarify for you guys right now with Sheila. Given her size, the spots to be sitting, essentially there is on the neck, so basically both of your legs forward in the water sitting on the neck. You're almost guaranteed to get wet legs like that, but it is what it is. You're on the back of a Pokemon, you're not going to be dry. And then the shell itself almost basically splits into quadrants for people to be able to sit on, in that there's like large spikes and dips between the spikes where it's easy to kind of plant your butt and like one leg to be doing a bit of a weird like lean sit up against the Pokemon herself. So is anyone taking the like neck spot, or is everybody up on the shell?
I'm down if it would help with navigation, but if
Yeah.
not, it doesn't really matter.
Seth's navigating.
Okay.
I don't
So-
mind getting wet.
100%.
I will
Seth, you
take-
plop yourself onto the Lapras.
Splash.
Splash.
Not that you don't
I'll take a
mind.
seat on the back, just in case anybody starts to slip or fall off. I can be there to
Okay.
try and
I'm
snatch them
seated
up.
between
Good on you for calling that out.
Coryne and Seth. So Coryne, if I slide off, Coryne can get me, and I can give directions to Seth.
That sounds good. Sounds good. So as you all kind of settle into your spots aboard Sheila, she starts to drift forward. Something that you will note about Lapras is they are called the transport Pokemon because they can carry quite a bit through water. They are not called the transport Pokemon because they are fast.
Hearing
Sheila,
that slow music.
people
the only reason Sheila is able to go as fast as she is now is because she's a rank 5 Pokemon. Her speed is her D4. So she moves about,
quick as Bowie.
About as quick as Bowie, yeah. And as she's moving, can I go ahead and can I get Matt, you said that Seth is the one who is in charge of like navigation.
Yeah.
With an advantage from Gavin, can you go ahead and can you roll me a tracking check?
Tracking, cool. Can I add my water spec to that?
Only you wouldn't know this, but this does have to do with a water type Pokemon, so I will allow you to use it instead.
Interesting. Okay.
And do remember, tracking is not in addition. So your water spec is not in addition to tracking. It's you can use it instead of tracking.
Oh, it's the same. Then that
But
wouldn't
what,
matter.
Okay.
what die would type spec be?
Type spec is whatever the die the roll calls for. So I called for tracking, so it can either be education or int.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that will be it's a D12, and then I add my badge to that.
Yes, 100%.
Pow. Oh, nice. So that's 10, 11.
11. Okay. With an 11, it's pretty easy to steer Sheila in the direction that you guys are needing to head, especially with the flashlight that you've given her. Lapras, obviously.
She's holding it in her mouth.
No, you've got it with one hand, is what I
Yeah, you
assumed.
said I was giving it to her.
With the flashlight, sorry, is what I meant to say.
I
You're
understand.
giving it to her. Yeah. But as you're kind of moving, Lapras obviously don't require light to travel, given that they already exist deep below the ocean. But it helps you give directions and commands. And Gavin, as you're kind of leaned over with your sat phone out, tracking the dot that Poppy had given you guys as the location of the ship, you guys start to feel the waters around you kind of shift and move more as currents begin to pick up. How choppy the boat was, it's maybe double that now, where you can feel of the Lapras moving back and forth on the ocean, her own large fin-like appendages barely keeping you guys on a straight course. Coryne, earlier you had asked about the weather. The wind goes up a notch, and you can feel light rains beginning to shower down on you guys. You guys are at the edges of a storm of some kind. Giving you fair warning on that now.
Edges entering or exiting?
Entering.
Can I take Myrtle and like stick her like in my shirt so that she's like kind of tied to me?
Okay, you can absolutely do that. Squirtle, squirt. Very confused. Doesn't understand what's up. Actually, I don't know that you can do that. Because canonically, you are wearing a tight athletics wear crop top. Canonically.
I forgot.
Oh, man.
It's not like you're wearing a
So
t-shirt
how's
where there's
it
room.
How about
you can't really
Vermilion?
compress
Vermilion's
it, turn
got
it
like
Have a
the largest hoodie.
You probably have one in your bag. If you want to throw your hoodie on and toss
You
it
have
around, that's
like
fine.
a rain,
I will.
a raincoat.
Yeah, I would assume that that's the case. Yeah, 100% you can pull out some sort of jacket and affix that.
I think Gavin
but
has a
it did
full,
occur
like,
to me when I was thinking about your character art.
You're right.
waterproof poncho.
Can I forget?
A waterproof
Myrtle,
poncho?
grab onto
Yep,
these
sounds good.
abs. You'll be sick.
These ab holds.
I just don't want to let go of my hair and fall into the ocean.
Yeah. It's crazy if there was only like a weird ball that
Don't.
safely stored in.
That's crazy. That's
She's
wild.
experiencing the
Insane.
ocean.
Okay. Let's see here. But as you guys are starting to enter this storm area, your tracking check was what, Seth?
11. I was about to do the finger
11.
thing.
So as you kind of move forward, it is you who starts to notice, especially with your kind of expertise in water itself, how as you get closer to these large like rock structures, the ocean is moving in kind of unnatural ways. You see more like small whirlpools off to one side, pushing, moving past. Looking out in front of you, it is a bit of a maelstrom in terms of looking at the water. It is this odd, swirling, changing, moving sensation to the water that doesn't look natural and edges on dangerous.
I think to myself, oh man, my mom was super right about going this way. Okay, cool. How we looking on the distance there, Gavin? Are we any closer?
Wiping the screen down.
Yeah, you got it. You swipe around. It's that thing where like there's certain water bits are on like the screen, so you just see pixels in places where it's like magnified.
Imagine if it was a
Eventually,
touch screen and the water's just.
I get so
messing with
sick of it. I've like retreated into my poncho and I'm just looking at it.
You guys have gotten about another half mile. You're starting to get towards the rocks. It's maybe another mile and a half away.
Doing good, Sheila.
But
Good
1.5
job.
squares.
you want a snack or anything? I got some jerky. I mean, you're working, but up to you. If you, yay or nay.
The Lapras comes to a full and complete stop, and the neck turns and then looks at you expectantly.
It's like when Dad's in the car, like.
Yeah, just fully give the snacks. Give all of the snacks. Coryne, I'm gonna have you roll this for Sheila because technically Sheila's currently in your care. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Bars.
Okay. So with Sheila, can you go ahead and roll me a D8, please?
Okay.
And add 5 to the roll.
Oh. We exploded?
She's strong.
Nice.
16.
16. Okay. With a 16, as she hits these whirlpools and starts to move forth, all of you guys immediately feel the kind of like the little whirlpools I was just telling Seth about.
The whole
ones
maelstrom, the
I
whole
forgot.
storm.
Yeah, I already forgot.
Instead of the kind of back and forth motion that you guys have been feeling from the waves, you now feel almost like a rocking motion as Sheila is pushing through these currents, but they're obviously still affecting her. She is strong enough to where she's powering through. But you guys, I need each of you to roll me a fortitude-based athletics check, please.
Do I have any type of benefit and/or assistance from where I am, being in a more secure?
you not being on the shell, you don't have to roll at all.
Let's go. Sorry, guys.
Let me roll one for Vermilion.
You said this is a fortitude-based one?
Yep. Let me know if you roll 5 or lower.
Zwolf is a 12.
Ooh. I rolled exactly a 5.
5 or lower?
5.
Okay. Vermilion rolls a total of 6, which is lucky for them, as they hold on, and you can feel kind of the Lapras moving and it kind of pushing back and forth in the storm. Things...
Hold on.
It's that thing where Seth has already admitted this in his mind, that his mom was probably right, but it is that moment where all of you do think back to the amount of people who told you not to go this way. Because in that moment, as Vermilion grips onto the shell, and Seth is kind of at some point, Seth, you have to move your arms forward around Sheila's actual neck to hold on.
Oh, that's how I was right.
Yeah,
I was just giving her a big hug.
Gavin, you at this point, your sneakers are kind of jammed in a section of the shell that let you stay on there, and it is surprisingly Coryne who goes flying from the back of the Lapras as you guys enter the whirlpool field.
Whoa.
Can you please roll me a D8s to tell me what direction you're headed in, Coryne?
By the way, I misspoke because I rolled a D12 and I should roll a D10. I did roll a 10 though.
Okay. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate
Did you
that.
explode, or was that in addition?
No, I rolled a 9 plus 1 for my die. My badge, rather.
4.
Okay. Coryne, what was your roll? 4. Okay. So as Coryne goes flying, you see that it's that moment where they hit a whirlpool, and it's almost like hitting a pothole in a car, where it's a poof, and the entirety of Sheila plummets downward into the water. All of you grab on. You guys kind of feel that moment where you bang into the shell just a little bit. And Coryne, you go ass over tea kettle. You actually go over Vermilion as you went into the water. I need an immediate strength athletics check from you to stay above the water.
In front of us?
Behind, but over Vermilion.
So is this where my triathlete physicality can come into play and I can add my fortitude die to my strength?
Absolutely, you may.
Oh my god. What is your
You are a
fortitude?
triathlete.
Oh. I exploded on the D12. Okay, hang on.
So anything that involves running, swimming, or shooting, she's great at.
18.
Shooting.
18 plus 8 is 26 plus 12. 38.
You walk on water. What the heck?
You are Jesus. Wow, that is the highest number. I think that's a record for the highest number we've ever seen roll on the podcast. That's insane to me. Just for the audience, remember, difficulty classes start at 5 in this game. That's wild. Okay, so as it is that thing where you've already put this jacket on to hold Myrtle. It is that thing where as you feel yourself getting thrown over the edge, you kind of tuck the arms and hand behind the head to protect yourself as you immediately feel yourself into the water. And even though you are trapped within a whirlpool, you are easily keeping up above the erratic waves. As you do this, I'm actually going to give you a little bit extra information of what's going on here as you do that. Sure. As you kind of are floating, you feel your foot kick and hit something solid, but not like a rock or a surface underneath you, like a Pokemon of some kind. And you immediately hear Myrtle, Squirtle, Squirtle, inside of your hoodie, terrified because she can't see anything. She's inside of a hoodie that suddenly got thrown into the water. The rest of you, though, Vermilion saw it. I don't know if the other two of you even saw this happen. No. Go ahead and just roll me a general int die check.
Do I add a badge?
You always add a badge.
15.
Always add a badge.
Something. Okay. And D8. Okay.
15.
8.
So with an 8, it's kind of like a line of people noticing this. It's Vermilion who noted the actual event happening. It's Gavin, whose head comes out of the poncho, who first sees Coryne pop up out of the water in the center of one of these small whirlpools. And it is Seth, who is keeping eye contact, noting where she is as she's sort of bobbing above the water. I'm not going to have you roll for this next round of things, Coryne, because of how well you rolled previously. You're just going to automatically succeed on keeping your head above the water. On this one.
Okay, cool.
Do you have any plan in terms of what you're trying to do? As you feel your arms burning, keeping you up, your athleticism will keep you above the water. There is no human power to be able to break out of a whirlpool. That's just not physically possible.
Okay.
Do you have a plan?
I have the semblance of one. Would you like me to try to talk it out to you now?
Absolutely, please do.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of, as I'm kicking and trying to keep above water, I'm gonna take my arm and pop Myrtle's head out of my hoodie, and I'm gonna look down at her and I'm gonna say, "Okay, don't panic. We're in the ocean. Could you climb into?"
Squirtle!
Yeah, I know. It's okay. We're fine. Look, I'm right here. Could you climb into my hoodie? And I just want you to give me the biggest water gun you can on the count of 3, okay? We're going to try and get out of here.
Squirtle, Squirtle, Squirtle. And she kind of like immediately dives back in. So your plan is to essentially try and ride a Squirtle out of this as she's propelling herself with water gun?
I want a water jetpack, Myrtle.
You want a water jetpack, Myrtle. Are you going to also be trying to swim during this?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your strength die, just your strength die, plus Myrtle's special attack die. I'm going to need you to break a 40 to get out of this whirlpool.
Oh, shit. Ooh. Okay. I don't know if that's her special attack. I don't know if that's possible.
Maybe she
it's always possible.
Okay, so question. I'm adding my badge for the strength and her rank for her special attack?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's another. Okay, so 18.
Did you explode on this roll too?
No.
Okay.
That's exploding was the only way I was gonna make it out of it. So I rolled an 18, a 6. That's 24. Plus 2 is 26. Plus 1 is 27. No, not even close.
27 is not enough, unfortunately. You feel Myrtle against your back, giving it her all with water gun? Yes.
I'm so sorry. I did say I was swimming. Can I use that triathlete?
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, okay, great. I have a D12. Wait.
Oh my gosh.
Explode.
Oh, I didn't explode, but I did. No, if I exploding was the only way for me to do it, right?
27.
I had 27. 27 plus 11 doesn't make it.
It's going to be 38. You just flew away.
You need to explode from that last dive.
That I want to clarify to everyone else that Coryne on her own almost beat an impossible difficulty class. Just because that's what her character is built for.
You Herculean.
With her own Pokemon, absolutely. There's no other player characters here.
Let's not discount Myrtle from this.
Gavin, you jump in the water.
What is this hill that you're dying on?
I'm sticking up for Myrtle, you guys.
I will say, Coryne, even though you were not successful at getting out of the whirlpool, I will now make things easier for them with how high you did roll.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. What are the two of you doing?
I'm going to tap Sheila on the side and kind of direct the light over to where Coryne is, saying we need to go get her now, please. And I'm going to start reaching in my bag for my old rod. And just start extending it out just so it's a thing to hold on to try and
okay, 100%. Go ahead then, Coryne, and roll the die for Sheila. Go ahead and give me a D8 plus 5.
Oh,
she got to beat a 10.
Where was that explosion when I needed it? 9 plus 5 is 14. 14.
Okay. Immediately Sheila turns about face and immediately begins to head back to Coryne. You reaching out the rod. It's going to be another round before you get to her physically. Gavin, you were keeping an eye out earlier. Are you still keeping an eye out for Pokemon?
Yeah, I will, because there's really nothing I can do.
Ooh, a Goldeen. I'll catch that.
Gavin's got 2 Pokeballs out, and he's just keeping an eye out. Actually, no, he's got 1 Pokeball out, and he's holding on to Lapras for dear life.
That's much better. I was about to make you make some checks if you weren't using your hand to stay on the back of Lapras.
Are you actually just Pokemon hunting at the moment?
No, I'm
in this dire situation.
I'm there if anything tries to attack Coryne.
Oh, okay.
Also,
100%.
You know, if absolute worst case scenario, maybe Staravia can grab Myrtle.
To clarify, is this a Pokeball with one of your
Is this an
Pokemon in
empty
it, or
Pokeball,
is
or
this an
is
empty
this
Pokeball?
This is what's the weather like? Like how badly? If
It's
I get Ava out, is she
frightful.
literally going to be carried away forever?
Probably.
Yeah.
Even with like her, she's really strong.
Maybe just hold
and
on.
she's
Just
got
hold
really
on.
good movements.
What are they gonna do? What are these Pokemon gonna do?
It is that thing where there are certain weathers that Pokemon don't fly in for a reason. And that weather we passed a while ago. We're now past that.
Okay, in that
This
case,
is potentially
if it
dangerous.
comes to a battle, could I lend Lapras my quick command ability?
Lapras is specifically on orders to not battle.
Yeah, we're not gonna fight anything. I really don't think it's fighting
battle,
season.
But if something attacks us,
Absolutely you may. Absolutely you may. If it's to help escape or run
Yeah.
away, absolutely you can help lend that to Lapras. But I'm giving you guys let you know right now, Lapras will not be entering battle at any point.
but that's
sweep at the gym.
as part of looking at because quick command is with your eye for combat and battle awareness. That's what I'm doing right now. Is like keeping an eye.
I
out
will
for-
absolutely allow you to add quick command if anything tries to attack Lapras, or if Lapras needs to get away. Absolutely. With that, can you real quick give me a spot hidden check?
Yep, I can. That is int, so I'm good at.
Yep.
That is an explosion. 28.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Keep that in mind. Okay, Coryne,
Yes.
it is coming back to you. You can see them coming back for you at this point. There was a moment before that where you couldn't see the Lapras underneath the water. It's a little bit of panic.
Yeah.
But as they come back around, you can see the blue head poking out the top, the edges of Seth's arms around the neck, and you can see Gavin kind of like leaning out with a Pokeball in hand. What are you doing right now?
Okay. I didn't kick anything again, did I? No,
You
don't
didn't
roll.
kick a thing.
Don't roll.
You felt several things by your legs moving past. Too deep under the water to be seen from the surface, but shallow enough to where you've been able to feel them physically rub against your legs in places. Pokemon on the smaller side.
Just a swarm of Pokemon spinning.
I was gonna say, is it just... No, there's no way I'm strong enough to slow a whirlpool, especially if I can't even get out of it. No, I don't think... It says that we have Pokegear, but I was trying to find in the document like what specifically is in the Pokegear. Do I have, like,
Pokegear is
Pokegear
the
is your
thing
watch.
that
It's
you
your
use to
phone.
call your
Oh,
mom.
got it.
That's what a Pokegear is.
I wouldn't happen to have like a glow stick, would I? If I didn't specifically say that I
nev-
bought one.
Yeah, nothing has ever come up where you've mentioned that you would have anything similar, so I would say no. Unfortunately. I mean, you have a Pokegear with a flashlight on it.
Okay, I hold that up as I'm trying to swim. In my mind, as this situation is happening, I'm thinking of all of the things that I could have that would have saved me, and I'm like, fucking rope. I could have had a rope. A life vest? We were coming out into the ocean. I don't know why I didn't think to grab that. Just like thinking
Actually, it's
of
funny
all
as you
these
guys
things.
did. You guys even made a joke about water wings at one point.
See? So yeah, Coryne is just staying above the water, making sure Myrtle is still with her. A little worried about the things. As soon as they
You're not going to actively try to escape again?
Oh, I can?
You can, absolutely.
Oh, well then, fuck yeah.
Water spout. Water spout.
Are you going to change anything about what you just did?
I'm gonna yell to Myrtle, because I assume the waves are pretty rough, and I'm gonna say, Myrtle, it's not quite enough. Go ahead and give it all you got. We gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Give it some gas.
Okay, difficulty will be lowered by 10. Please roll again.
Okay. Am I rolling all the same die?
All the same die. Your
Okay.
fortitude and strength and Myrtle's special attack.
All right.
Adding all the bonuses that you added previously.
Okay. So
Dear Arceus.
16 plus 1 is 17. And then an 11 is 28. And then, 28 plus 3 is 31.
31.
Let's go!
That is one more than you needed. At this exact moment, Seth, as you have like reached out your old rod to try and help to Coryne, it is just barely on the edge of the whirlpool. By the time you kind of hear, Myrtle, all you got, and like across all of the different waves and wind and all the howling going on around you, you then see this just temporary moment where Coryne poof, kind of like bursts out of the water, almost like a fish like coming out over the ocean.
Coryne.
Jumps right past your rod. You can try and grab her hand if you want to pull her up into the Lapras, Seth.
Yes.
Free willying over Lapras.
Difficulty 7. I need you to roll me a strength die.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Coryne. I'm gonna be honest. I'm already
okay.
sorry. I don't.
I'm sorry
You
the
need
two
to
of you
explode.
dumped strength.
Oh, man, that's rough. I have to explode and then at least roll a 3.
I believe in you.
Oh, okay. I exploded. That's cool.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you're already at 5 because you get to
Already
add your
at 5.
badge. Yep, so you just gotta roll a 2 or higher.
No, rolled a 1.
Jesus Christ!
So instead of you catching her and safely pulling her aboard, Coryne, you see Seth in that moment, and you like your hand goes out and you grab, and it's just too wet as you slide and go over the edge, like hitting Gavin's shoulder as you get up to the top.
Could I have used in anything with the water specialization that I have? Would
Yeah,
that have been the extra 1? Because it's a 1.
Yeah, probably.
Give me that arm.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. And the hand is so wet, but as you like,
It's like
as
the
you like
it's
shoulder
like
check
what's that
Gavin.
movie with the power
Seth
grip?
keeps you from tumbling over the edge as you manage to not take any additional wounds as you are thrown back on top of the Lapras. You are all now on the back of Sheila again, but the water is still.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
Is that to me or to Coryne?
That's to all of you. What are you guys doing?
Get him the fuck out of here!
Try and go
Okay.
go away.
Where are you trying to take her to? Are you trying to get Gavin's help and head towards the location of the ship? Are you
let's say-
trying to go to one of the rocky outcrags? Where are you going?
How high up do the rocky outcrags look like they are?
The lowest one looks like it's maybe like 6 feet out of the water. You could potentially get there with good enough checks.
Okay. And the boat is still a distance that is unknown.
Still
to
like
us.
a mile and a half away.
Oh god.
I think we have to go for it. Like of just trying to get out of this.
I think we.
Okay.
I don't. I think
go
there's
for
any
it.
other.
Honestly,
Okay.
a wrecked ship.
So
seems
to
like a
clarify,
good
where are
deal
you
right
headed?
now.
We're headed to the rocks.
So no. I was saying to the boat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
I say just
Okay.
we
Go
just
for
try
the
our
boat.
best to get out of there.
Okay.
all right.
Coryne, go ahead and roll that D8 again for me for Lapras. You got to beat a 10.
Ooh. Oh, wait, this is plus 5. 11. Rolled a 6.
11. Okay. 11. That's good enough to keep going.
God.
So, as you guys pull Coryne up, Gavin, it's that thing where you're immediately like helping Coryne get situated. Vermilion at this point has already kind of like helped Coryne pull off the soaking wet like cotton hoodie and has pulled like one of their like rain, like not even like anything that's thick, just like rain covers up onto Coryne just to try and keep you warm. Coryne, can you please just roll me a fortitude die?
Yeah. 5.
5. You can feel the edges of hypothermia on your system.
Corinne's
We're
sitting
gonna
there
go
like,
out once we get to dry land.
don't go in the ocean. It's fucking cold. Oh my god.
Squirtle is like has like shifted around to be back towards the front of your hood of like the like little rain jacket and is just like hands on shoulder. Squirtle, trying to like rub your shoulders. Gavin, I see a hand.
Can I try and don't do this in a weird way. Can I try and help Coryne out of her wet hoodie and into one of my dry ones?
That's already been happened.
Okay.
That's what Vermilion did.
Vermilion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Appreciate it, though.
Vermilion got it. You're good. So Seth, go ahead and roll me one more tracking check with an advantage because of Gavin.
So that's a D4 added to that.
Correct.
Nice. Okay. So we got tracking. Cool. Ooh. Okay. That's gonna be a solid 6.
Okay. So as Sheila is successfully pushing you guys through these whirlpools, it is that thing where Gavin, after maybe like 10 minutes, you look down at the map because you've been trying to help people be safe. You've been looking around. You look down at the map. You guys have drifted off course. You're still headed generally the direct direction, but you're not headed directly where you need to go. How are you communicating that to Seth? Because it is loud with the amount that the storm has increased. You guys started at a 2. You are now up to dice level 4 for the storm. I'm going to let you know right now, the D6 was the severity of the storm, and every few minutes I have the stage go up until the storm is over.
Okay.
Right now you're at a 4.
It's going up to a 6?
Up to a 6.
Ha!
Can I roll an int die to try and communicate this well?
Guys, it's been a good
Absolutely.
game.
Go for it.
Good
We all about to
season.
drown.
We'll be back at it next time. with
Aaron
the
tried to
characters.
hype up that Route 22 is not safe right now.
Well, you know, it's fine.
16. Okay. With a 16, how are you attempting to communicate this to Seth? Are you just like yelling it over the wind?
So, I'm assuming, is there any kind of visual communication going on between Seth and Gavin?
Yeah, 100%. You guys are maybe 4 feet from each other, if that.
So it's like, of course, turn that way.
Oh, you're making like hand signals and motions and saying that loudly
And
to try and get Seth's
I'm
attention.
doing both, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Go this. Okay.
Okay. With that,
It's like, of course.
Gavin, you do, as you like get like frustrated at one point and try and make a hand signal, you do almost like fall directly off the lappers, but you steady yourself and grab back on. I do need for the remainder of the trip for everyone to make me one more strength athletics check, please.
How am I?
I better not fucking
Do I need to
fail
make one
this.
now?
You're
that I'm-
fine. You're on the back. You're on the neck. You're on the neck. You're on the neck. You're
Oh
good.
my god.
Whoever's on the neck is safe.
Kenna, no.
No.
You guys roll a 5 or lower?
I exploded on
Okay.
a d20. I got a 31.
Oh, let's go.
No, I'm making that mistake twice.
Your hand crushes into the.
It's like, oh!
Time to roll for Vermilion. Okay.
It was nice knowing him.
No.
No, they're great. We love them. We love them.
We love them. They're not leaving.
Okay.
No, Gerber can probably just run on water.
So,
so fast.
as you guys are traveling, it is that thing where distance is slowly being made. It's a mile and a half away. A mile.
Is everybody fine?
3/4 of a mile. I didn't answer that question.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, you guys make it to the point where you're seeing that these whirlpools that are between these rocks are becoming extreme to the point where instead of trying to like go over them, Sheila is now coasting along the sides of them, getting physically into the whirlpool to adjust herself going forward. You can't just, they're now bigger than she is the point. As you're traveling through there, you, a while ago, Gavin, rolled me a 26 for spot hidden. That is going to come up now because you notice 2 things in this moment. One, actually, I need to check something real quick. I need to check one thing very quickly that is
Keep
important.
building it up and then go
I
like,
know,
what?
I'm
Hold
like,
on,
wait,
actually,
wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
go
Hold
do
on.
something. I'm gonna
I'm
cry.
on the edge.
Let's see here.
Glory.
I'm checking something.
And I'm hanging on the
And-
lappers with you.
Ooh, bars.
Yeah.
Aaron, why did you send me a new character sheet?
What
Oh,
the?
well, that's because you're going to die.
No.
Here.
Okay.
A burial at sea.
The only campaign
This
I don't have backup
Pokemon-
characters for.
This Pokemon is very rare in your home region, so I don't know that you would recognize it on site.
Who's
But
on?
that's why I was checking it. But Gavin, as you look into the whirlpool as you're passing it, you kind of are the only one with like at the correct angle with the correct vantage point to look down into the water with your 26. As you look over, you see these blue and beige like shapes under the water moving, maybe at any given point 1.5 to 3 feet tall. Some even smaller than that, actually. Some going all the way down to like maybe 8 inches tall. Moving with the currents. You see these creatures are like, it's very hard to make them out under the water, but they almost like half moon crescent shape from what you can see of like just blue. But as they're swimming, you can see that these Pokemon are physically accelerating the whirlpools. They are, if not creating them, exacerbating the problem. And as they create it, you're the one who feels behind you Vermilion into the water as they get taken in one of the larger whirlpools and immediately
Oh no, are you shitting
taken
me?
away from you. The distance is much worse. They're already about 20 feet away from you by the time you notice them hit the water. As you are both being accelerated by the whirlpool. How are you telling everybody else this?
Overboard!
You yell, and immediately, Seth, you don't even see who it is at this moment. You just hear that and immediately start getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Coryne, it is you who looks to the side and now realizes that there is no Vermilion standing next to you.
Oh, this is all my fault.
Can I tell Sheila to, if we're in, are we in the same whirlpool?
You're in the same whirlpool at this point.
Okay. Can we do a lap of the whirlpool and kind of come back on a swing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can have Sheila. I'm not going to make Sheila roll for that. 100%. Yeah. Sheila can ride a whirlpool easily enough. There's going to be no check required for that. As you guys immediately start.
Okay. Coryne, get ready.
Okay.
Let me roll for Vermilion to stay above the water.
Hang on, Myrtle.
Coryne, as you're looking out, getting ready, you're the one who sees Vermilion under the water.
Shit. What
are you doing?
My Poké Gear has a flashlight on it, right?
Yes. Not nearly as good as the crank flashlight that Seth has, but yes.
Does anyone have rope?
I have a
Let
scarf.
me check my bag.
I also have a scarf.
I have my fishing rod.
I have a tent. Does that have rope?
You have a fishing rod? This is gonna
Yes, you
hurt
saved
like
it.
a
Remember
from the
you
water.
cut your fingers on it earlier?
But it can't catch
gonna
Vermilion.
hurt.
It can only catch Magikarp.
No, I know. Can I? Oh, that's
Says
a really
you.
bad idea. Do I think in this split second, if I tie the fishing line around me, it's not necessarily to pull us out, but more to like get a bead on us? Would it help, or would that just be
I want to
ridiculous?
clarify, for products that are created to fish Pokemon, they have to be able to withstand hundreds and hundreds of pounds before snapping. It can absolutely hold 2 teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got to think, a Magikarp on average weighs about 22 pounds, and Magikarp can swim pretty well. So they put out more than just 22 pounds of weight against that. So the string's going to be good. It's just going to hurt you a lot.
hurt
Yeah,
like
it's gonna hurt the shit out of you.
Okay.
Like, you will be taking wounds if you do this.
Yeah, I realize that. I say, fuck, and I, like, yank the rod out of the back of Seth's bag, and I just start going, like, woof, woof, and, like, wrapping it around my waist.
Layer up.
You're gonna cut yourself in half.
I'm gonna real quick. All players, stop for a moment. I'm gonna look at the
Don't
audience.
ever do this.
Don't do this. What? Don't do this.
Listen to your Pokemon
Listen
Ranger
to
parent.
professionals who tell you don't go places.
Don't go on a
do
route.
this. Okay, now that we're there, now that we've done that,
In half.
No, it's gonna be
Now
fine.
we've done
Layers up.
It's gonna be
You have the
fine.
hoodie.
Now that we've
Put the
done that.
hoodie around
Yeah,
your
I've
waist.
got
and then
hoodies
you'll be fine.
on, and it's fine.
Oh my god.
is anyone else taking any other action before I get to Coryne making rolls?
Coryne, please return Myrtle.
Please return Myrtle.
Please return Myrtle.
It's one of the
I,
last.
as a DM, asking you, please
It's-
return Myrtle. This is gonna
one
make
of-
it more difficult for you.
It's one of the last things I do before I dive in after Vermilion.
Okay, yeah, you immediately feel Squirtle, as like Squirtle's like trying to like start. Myrtle's like wrapping her own waist with the line. She's like getting ready.
Not this time, babe.
Question, Professor.
Yeah.
Bowie's been around the block a little bit longer. Could
100%.
I have Bowie go with Coryne, and when they're both together, hit a hydro pump to
Absolutely.
get them out?
You can
Okay.
release Bowie if you want. 100%. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Bowie, buddy, I trust you. Swim strong. And then I'll just.
He as soon as Myrtle disappears, he appears in front of you.
Yep. All right.
Oh.
Boop. Just give you him. Just say kick it when you want him to do it. It's gonna do the big one. So just aim away from us, and then you'll make it back. I'm sure.
All right.
Bowie,
Gavin, I see him.
focus.
I, at a loss of what to do and probably feeling extremely panicked and guilty, Gavin reaches into his bag. He's gonna take out both of his rations of water-type Pokemon food and throw them as far away as possible to try and get the Pokemon.
Roll me
Smart.
a Pokemon handling check.
good.
That is
very
such an
smart.
incredible idea. Oh my
very
god!
Roll that with
Smart.
an advantage.
Gavin!
Actually, roll that with an
my
advantage. That is
God.
very
Holy
smart.
shit!
Is this an ace trainer?
Oh my god!
It's an int. +3 because badge +2 ranks of skill.
Yep.
Exploded on the big die.
Okay. What's total?
34 +3
Okay.
+3 again.
37. Oh, 40. Nice.
Galaxy
okay.
brain.
Galaxy brain.
Holy
So
shit.
as you chuck them to the side, Coryne,
Team
it is. I will
Galactic
get to how that affects things in just a moment.
Sure.
Coryne, you have it ready. You have buoy under one arm. What does it look like as you take the plunge? Swan, cannonball. What are you doing?
I like pencil dive and then start.
Pencil dive.
I like pencil dive in and then I kick off as hard as I can against Lapras's shell in the direction that I know.
Immediately,
is.
you're already suffering from like light hypothermia at
In
this
my head,
point.
I'm
As
like,
you hit the
"Fuck this
water a
ocean,
second
fuck
time,
this ocean."
I need you to make me a fortitude die to see whether or not you just straight up stun yourself in this
Running out of
moment.
dry clothes.
Oh, yeah, change
8?
clothes.
8. Okay. With an 8, you immediately, there's a moment where you lock up in this moment. Your next strength roll is going to take a -3 penalty to it.
Ooh, okay.
Oh my gosh, you're only gonna get a 32.
Shut the hell up.
You feel Bowie next to you and immediately grasp onto your arm. He is ready to go with you. As you jump in, can you roll me a tracking check to see if you can even get to Vermilion? Because
Sure.
Vermilion is still
Tracking
underwater and has
is-
not breached since they went under.
Okay. Damn. I do have my. It's probably not going to be super effective, but I have my Pokegear in my hand as a flashlight. But I'm also like trying
Okay.
to swim with it. Exploded. 13.
13. Beat a 10. What you needed was a 10. So, as you do that, you see with the flashlight just a flash of red and yellow go by you at one point.
Ooh.
No roll required. You can reach out and grab. That's fine.
Yoink.
However, getting the two of you to the surface is going to require a strength athletics check, which does require a -3 penalty from your light hypothermia.
Come on. Big
Are we
no
helping?
whammies.
With a hydro pump?
Not
That's
yet.
just to get them to the surface. Buoys to get them out.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this. I rolled a 15 on the D20. -3 is going to be 12. Plus 9
Okay.
is...
You beat a 10. All that matters is you beat a 10. You immediately get you both to the surface, and Vermilion is at the point where they've still been holding their breath. So as soon as you breach them, the three of you breach out of the water. The two of you spot this. And in that moment, as the three of them breach the surface, you immediately see the whirlpool beginning to lower. It's not stopped, not by any means, but the difficulty lowers significantly as the one of you keeping the eye out for those blue Pokemon, they go and they all begin to scatter in the direction where you've just thrown water food out into the distance. But in that moment, you feel the water beginning to slow slightly around you. If you're gonna try and leave, this is the moment. Before I get to your roles, Coryne, the two of you, are you guys doing anything to try and assist in this moment? Gavin, you've already helped with the food, so if you don't have anything else that you can do, that's fine.
Besides the holding out
hiccuping
my
from
hands
stress.
to see if I can try and pull them onto the Lapras, there's nothing else.
Okay, that's good to know. Seth, what about you? You doing anything at all in this moment?
I think I have the fishing rod in my
You got the fishing. You're the one holding the fishing rod. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm in
So at
like
this
a
point,
very sturdy spot.
The line is keeping you connected at this point. Just holding on to them, I'm not going to require a check from you just to make sure
I don't think
that
I'm trying to pull them in. I'm just
You're
the
just being
guiding
the
points
anchor.
so they know what
Yeah.
direction they need to
100%. With that, I'll give them an advantage when they make this roll.
shoot.
Okay. Coryne,
Yep.
this difficulty is not just for you. This is for you and Vermilion. So I'm going to have Vermilion roll as well.
Okay.
All of you together. So the difficulty was lowered significantly by the fact that you're going to be using a hydro pump, but also raised because it's two of you. So
Got
we're
it.
back to 40.
Okay.
But now you're going to have Vermilion with you.
And as we go to make this
Seth,
roll,
you'll be rolling Bowie's special attack.
I go
Okay, so
ahead and
lower
I
than
go,
what from the whirlpool being less.
kick it!
You yell, kick it. Okay.
Okay.
As you kick it, go ahead and roll Bowie's special attack die. I will roll for
Okay.
Vermilion.
He did eat his
Say, did he have his
prepared meal
Cheerios?
for the day.
He had his prepared meal. Good, because I rolled a 1 for Vermilion.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's gonna be.
Plus nothing, because they didn't get any
know,
badge.
Oh, I like how you think I'm not still adding their badges from last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I add 2 with Bowie, then I add my D12. Okay, cool.
What was Bowie's total? Oh, you still haven't
rolling
rolled yet. Go for it.
Okay. That's gonna be 13.
13, okay. Plus 3 from Vermilion, so that's 16. Coryne?
28.
16 plus 28. That's going to beat it. That's going to beat it by 4. That's going to beat it by 4. Okay, yeah.
Coryne, you Adonis.
In this moment, you see Coryne like butterfly stroke like outwards at this moment as Vermilion's kind of like grabbing onto one shoulder and Bowie's like gripping on the other as there's a stream of water behind them. There's a perfect moment where the clouds part for just a second, so a badass like ray of sunshine as they free Willy out of the water into Gavin and Seth's arms. As all of you land on Sheila, Seth, roll me a tracking check to get you guys out of here.
Oh my God.
Gavin catching them is definitely more just being a landing mat as opposed to actually catching anything.
Yeah, aside from lighting on like a hard shell. Tracking. Okay, do I add the D4 with direction or no? Just
absolutely roll the D4.
It's gonna be a 9.
It's a 9. Okay, so you pull them out, and it takes longer, but you did not feel to the point.
10.
There
I
we go.
didn't
Okay,
add
that's much
the,
better. You hit the 10. That's all that we needed. You needed to hit the 10. Okay, so as you immediately feel Sheila peel off out of that whirlpool, that like lack of resistance from it not being as strong as it was, pulling herself over the water. You guys get to the point where you're all huddling over the shell, just gripping arms to keep each other on. We're not risking people leaving again.
Yarp.
It is not for another 15 minutes before, Seth, you see a set of rocks that you know to be where the ship is supposed to be. You saw on the screen the edge of the ship peeking out from those rocks. You know it. You can see it.
Okay.
How are you approaching it?
So we're going up to the rocks. Are there any like wider flat surfaces where the rocks are?
As you get to this section of the outcroppings, it has become a lot more dense than when you were first at. Instead of like kind of dipping between occasional outposts, it's now like going through a labyrinth of stone. At this point, the outcroppings are easily on all sides of you. Lapras actually only being able to go through the wider corridors between the outcroppings. Eventually, the two that you know of where the ship is supposed to be, you can see that they're maybe 5 to 8 feet off the water in places with a flatter top, but they also connect to a much larger outcropping that is accessible from the two of them. Not accessible from the water level, though, probably 15, 20 feet above the water.
Okay, so if we were to try and go that route, we would have to get off of Sheila and try and climb?
Yeah, 100%. But if you go for the two smaller ones, you can just hop up. I won't make a roll.
Let's go for the two smaller ones and hop up from there, because I don't trust us climbing in the condition that we're in. Me just being weak and then hypothermia and stuff.
I don't trust you guys climbing. I think I'll be fine.
You pull up to the side of these two rocks, and you can see that these two rocks, one is 5 foot, one is 8 foot. Between them is maybe a 4 foot wide gap. And you can see that it is currently jammed full of bits of metal belonging to a ship that on the side, you can see the whalmer has been ripped off as it collided with the rock, but the blessing still exists on the side of the ship.
Let's count our blessings. Okay, so we should definitely try to help them.
Well, this ship, looking at it in the state that it is in, is not a ship. It is a hunk of metal that has been pressed against two rocks for the last however many days. It is definitely non-operable. It does not float. It is jammed.
Is it flooded, or does it seem like it's stopping water and it is its own little like alcove that someone could be in?
To reiterate, it is a ball of crumpled metal, Matt.
I see. Okay, I understand.
It is not a ship anymore.
Gotcha.
And it is easy enough to climb up onto the 5 foot rock, and you guys have about maybe a 6 foot like diameter platform to stand on once you've hopped up onto that. The 8 foot giving you another like 4 or 5 feet to stand on. Pushing each other up. Vermilion has not spoken since coming out of the water and is just shivering, like lips going blue. If they would be if they weren't covered in black lipstick. And that shit's waterproof, so you know it's not coming off in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are shivering, paler than you've ever seen them. You, Coryne, as well, at this point are getting to the point where you have no dexterity in your hands anymore. Your hands don't make fists anymore. As soon as Vermilion gets pulled up onto the platform, they release Zippo and immediately just like hug Zippo, and you can see steam off of their clothing. And they pull you guys closer as well.
Okay. All right. Gavin, does it show any other information? No, we found the boat. Okay. Can we see anything else, like a trail of like wreckage that may have been pulled away?
Roll
to
me a
different
tracking check
outcropping,
or a spot hidden check, your choice.
Let's do tracking.
Could I do it as well? Because I'd be looking for the captain as soon as we.
It's gonna be a 7.
Go ahead and do the same.
Or I'm sorry, 8.
It's a 17.
Okay. Between the two of you, Seth, it is that thing where you're looking around for just things that can help you, whereas Gavin's looking for Captain Nolan. You do not immediately see any evidence of Captain Nolan at the moment. You do not see his kind of trademark hat. You don't see his coat. Nothing immediately around you. What you do see, however, is, and you notice this because Seth kind of pushes forward towards it, the chasm that kind of goes between the two rocks. Once you get past the wreckage of the ship that has been kind of pushed into it, it continues back into that larger plateau that's behind them. It seems like some sort of small sea cave of some kind is above water level. It looks like even at high tide, which is where it's at now, it's still not being touched by the water. That's probably where you need to be if you're trying to find Nolan. If you think, if he's alive, he's there.
Yeah. We gotta grab the others and start heading that way.
If anything else, it's shelter.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I go ahead and get your choice of strength or fortitude athletics checks from the four of you? I need both Coryne and Vermilion to make theirs with a -3 penalty.
Fortitude.
Is there a way? I mean,
What type of check is it? Strength or
This
fortitude?
is fortitude or
Strength or
strength
fortitude?
athletics check.
Okay.
could I be? I mean, I know I'm already taking a penalty, but could I also give some sort of help to Vermilion since we're both freezing and Zippo?
I'll see where you. Let
can
me see
offer to help,
how
'cause
successful
I'm
you are
fine.
first.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to see how successful the three of you are first before you can offer to help others. It's kind of like a put your mask on before others situation.
Yeah.
9.
Oh.
You rolled a 9. Okay.
17.
Oh, okay.
17. Okay.
12. I exploded on the.
If you exploded, oh my god!
Wait, I'm so sorry. Are we climbing?
No, we're just being strong.
Technically, this would be a climbing check.
Okay,
actually,
then I
yeah,
then I
this
do
would
get
totally.
okay. Then I do get to add this. So
Oh my god.
12 and 6 is 18 plus only plus a 4, so 22.
Only a
22. Between the three of you and how well you've done, they will absolutely get to roll an advantage and add to their roll.
Okay.
Yeah, that they get over the 7 that they needed to get through. All of you push past, and it's that point where you kind of have to like push on your elbows and feet to get through the chasm. Eventually, it kind of widens out. Not a lot, but enough to where you can feel the kind of rockiness open up. And it's maybe like you can no longer touch both walls standing between them. It's wide enough for that. As you pull in, who's kind of taking the charge here?
I can go. I feel like I'm the least binged up from anything happening.
That's fair.
so-
You were the one in the neck, so you were like the most
Yeah.
protected. As you push up, Seth, you kind of, it's that thing where it's pitch blackness, so you've got your flashlight out. You've got the, which is a bit hard to hold when you're having to do the climbing bit, but once you've gotten to solid ground, you feel your feet touch down on the surface of the cavern, and you can feel stalagmites and stalactites having grown around you. And you look around, and it's this pale stone that's drenched wet. There's no dry places in this cave. But it is not the wet cave that catches your eye, but the metal door at the back of it that does.
Metal door. What the heck?
Protruding from one of the walls.
Okay. Yeah. Let's check. It's closed? I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out. That's weird.
Okay.
Does it keep going forward and leads to the door, or is it there's a door and you can keep going deeper?
No, it's the door is the back.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna check this door out. I'm not gonna just open it immediately. I'm gonna like look to see if there's like locks on it, or if
Getting
it's,
up to it, it's a door that's been here for a while. It's definitely been sealed, but sections of it have like peeling paint that's like rusted. The handle looks like it's been crumpled at some point recently, like its metal is dented and broken in places. And it looks like somebody probably busted into this door recently.
And there's not any like logos or writing on the door?
No, it's just a metal. It's like an exterior metal door. You know, for like apartment buildings or stuff, where it's like that heavy metal door.
Punk rock.
I've got Ava's Pokeball out.
Okay. 100%.
Just
Your
ready.
finger's always on that trigger, dog. We're ready to go.
Listen, Ava and I are kindred spirits. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if it looks like the door's been recently busted open, I will definitely try to like pull the door open. It's
Okay.
I don't really think there's much to stealthing because it's gonna be creaky and rusty, I'm sure.
Yeah, you pull the door open, and luckily you don't hear the hinges like creak like that, but it does like the where you can feel the latch. Since it's been busted, doesn't feel like it properly latches closed anymore. So just grabbing the kind of like knobby handle that's there, pull outward, you immediately feel warm, filtered, circulated air immediately hits your face as LED light strips illuminate the floor of you.
What the fuck have we
Okay,
pressed
go. I'm
this?
gonna hold the door open and help the other two get in that are hypothermic.
Okay. Yeah, the you holding the door, the other three of you there, very confused, very upsettingly, like, confused at what you found in this cave. And it's once you've pulled in, you see you're at the end of a long hallway with other doors kind of, like, going off to the side of them. And it's Coryne who sees it first. At the very end of the hallway, emblazoned in black and blue, the large R that is there.
Fuck.
And that is where we're going to end
No!
today's episode.
No, please.
Yay!
Who just? Oh my god.
Bad guys, Coryne, that's
Jazz
who.
hands, everybody.
Yo, get Ava out. We about to clear this whole cave,
Yo.
bro.
I already used that hydro pump.
Where
I
do
ain't
you
got
think
nothing.
they
else.
launched the Gyarados from?
Good point.
Anyway, so thank you guys for joining us in today's episode of Unbeatable. Remember, follow us on all our socials. Subscribe to the channel, please. An upsetting amount of you who watch this aren't subscribed. We're trying to be monetized. Please, come on, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Anyway, we appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you guys so much. We love you all. Goodbye.
Have a good day. Thank you for watching this episode of Unbeatable. If you want to support our podcast, please subscribe here and head on over to our Patreon. Our patrons get access to early episodes, bonus content, and rule breakdowns for our games. Thank you for sticking around and being unbeatable.
I am unbeatable, I'll train until I meet my goal. If stakes are high, no, I won't fold, because I am unbeatable. Earning every badge, whatever it takes, I'm gonna be the best trainer, you just wait. And I know the road ahead looks like it won't be easy. I am unbeatable. Standing by my side, got my friends with me to explore a whole world of possibilities. But no matter what the challenge is, we can overcome it together. Because we are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable. We are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable.